my ordeal lasted for about a whole night. It's up and down, and they were frightening me with raping me with a baton. And I was with Samia in the room on the 4th floor, and he asked me to stand up and close against the wall. And I asked, "What are you doing?" So he asked me to strip off, and I was screaming, and I was asking, "No, don't do this to her. Enough, you've done really enough." But he was getting closer to me, but he was threatening me to do things to me which I do not want to disclose. I would kneel down, but he would lift me up and ask me to take off my clothes.
When perpetrators beat us, they are beating us as Tunisians, not as leftists or Islamists, but we are all Tunisians, and we need to think of our future, and the TDC is paving the way before new generations to actually be raised on values of justice, and we are refounding our own state, and we are trying to redress the past to make sure that it won't be repeated again.
You see, in a village and a rural area, so people would not believe that I have been sent to prison for activism. They cannot understand that. They would think that I have been sent to prison for another crime. Some people, they say, if a woman is sent to prison, then she will stay unmarried, but as soon but I found my husband, my future husband, in the prison. And after I was released, I got married. So we got married without jewelry. I didn't have an ID because it has been confiscated by the police officers, and I refused to sign in the police station. So, and then I went back to Tunis, and I came to know Abdulrazak, and we got married out of an ID copy.
Freedom as a present, and freedom builds, does not destroy. We've been all subjected to all sorts of violences, but please make sure that you keep united, and we are giving the best picture about our country. So the youth, my call to the youth, just see what your grandfathers and your fathers did, and for the sake of the country, don't be misled into destroying your country. And I don't have any requests. And for those who say that we want compensation, no, I was surrounded, and God was just standing by me, and God has been with us, and it's what we gave to our country has no monetary value.
I was a subject of misery, the same for my family, and I cannot describe the pain of my father too. How do you want me to consider these torturers? They are back to their work. I miss my father. He left too early. I spent a year in the prison, far away from him. Then I left and he passed away. You who are calling for the return of Ben Ali, you who are claiming that Tunisia was in peace and safety, is that true? No, Tunisia wasn't in peace and secure. I'm not crying today, because today I would like to thank the committee that has achieved successfully, for the first time in history, to organize this day in Tunisia. And I am giving my full support to the committee, standing against everybody who is against the work of this committee, because you do not know the sufferings of Basma al-Balai. Basma al-Balai stopped dreaming even of simple dreams like every girl getting married and having a baby. When am I going to dream? Now?
You know, struggle is not, in fact, from 1987 to 2011, we shall continue our struggle, and every single Tunisian shall continue to struggle. Why? Because in fact, we are the owner of this country. Ben Ali tried to instill these ideas in our mind, which is that this country is not ours. You know, that the owner of the country ran away. So how can we consider him as the owner of this country when he ran away and he's today living in Saudi Arabia, and we are still living in our country? If he comes back, I want really to see him in court to be judged. So today, in fact, what is funny is that we are talking about cases against Ben Ali which pertain to checks and money, and forget about high treason and about the killing he caused. So in fact, truth is good, but it's also bitter.